This painting, well, it's actually a very special painting. When I'll ask you, what do you think this particular painting is made up of? Watercolor, pencil sketches, any guesses? Well, all of your guesses are wrong because this material that is used for making this particular painting is coffee. You heard that right. This is made up of coffee, and the person who has made it is a very special person.
Hello everyone, my name is Partha Mukherjee and I'm also known as the Kolkata Coffee Man.
You will be soon be meeting him, but well, this painting is actually very special. I mean, this is not the only painting that he has made. There are many other paintings. You'll be hearing his story very soon. So I'll catch you there.
One of the owners of Trice.
So today I'm joined by a very special guest, and his name is very familiar in this place, especially where we are sitting, Stripe Cafe, and he's famously known as the Kolkata Coffee Man, aka Partha Mukherjee. So please tell me, how did it all begin for Mr. Kolkata Coffee Man?
So would we continue in English only, right?
Yeah.
So what came up is an accident. I was doing a painting in watercolor and that painting actually was going on. What happened is I was having a cup of coffee and the brush actually was thrown into that coffee cup in place of the water where I was actually cleaning up my paint.
Yeah.
So that accident was a very happy accident because it told me that coffee's color is brown and I can use it as a stain for making a lot of things, including paintings.
Yeah.
So that's what started off with the coffee art. And I use my coffee art to express people's feelings. And the art of expressing feelings is what I call the mission by Kolkata Coffee Man.
Okay, we'll come back to that later. But I just want to know that, like, the entire process of like painting something like this one is a very. I found this really intriguing, and but especially like, why did you especially choose coffee? There's so many materials like you can choose from, or is there any other materials you use for painting other than coffee?
No, I use a lot of mediums for painting, but there's a special reason why I use coffee.
Yeah.
Actually, 3 of them. The first thing is I like the accident that happened.
Yeah.
And I hope these kind of accidents continue because like we know in the film Kung Fu Panda, there are no accidents, right?
Yeah.
The second thing is coffee actually, the color in coffee is a bit warm, monochrome.
Yeah.
And it relates to a lot of memories that are in our minds. So I love that feeling when people get a coffee painting, they actually treasure that like a memory in monochrome. So that's one thing, that's the second reason.
Yeah.
The third reason is we have a lot of painting mediums available in market. And a lot of people say that they are organic and all those things, but a lot of them don't abide by what they say.
Yeah.
So the paintings that we have nowadays, the mediums that we use for paintings, they are not all nature proof.
Yeah.
Right. So when I make a coffee painting and I mix the coffee in a glass of water and then I throw that water away, I have zero regrets that I'm not creating any harm for the society.
Yeah.
So these are the basic 3 reasons why I continue with coffee.
Okay. So what is something that you're drawing right now?
I'm drawing someone who stays with me all the time.
He has a special significance in your life?
Yes.
Since when did you start like doing this? 2 years?
No, coffee art is going on say around 5 or 6 years.
And you have always like been in like into art making and all that?
Yeah, I have been into art making since I had sense. So my family is quite arty,
Okay.
and that actually helped me to connect a lot with art from the time I had the sense of right and wrong.
That's brilliant. Since like you started making these sort of paintings, like I just wanted to know that moment where people started to take notice of like whatever you're making, and when was that moment you realized that okay, people are actually noticing this art and it might be a very unique thing that you're doing. Like when was this?
People noticing was never my priority. My priority was the sense of satisfaction and happiness.
Like okay.
I think that should matter everywhere. Everything else follows. So what happened is there was an office meeting where some big gun was coming to office. I work for an IT industry, and there I was asked to do something unique for this. So I made a coffee art,
Yeah.
and it's my office colleagues who saw that and called me Coffee Man. Then I searched the internet to find out if there is actually any term named Coffee Man. So I found out yes, there is, but there is no Kolkata Coffee Man.
Ah.
So that's actually the way the things added up.
Yeah.
And that's when I realized that people actually could relate a lot to coffee and to art with coffee.
Yeah.
Because coffee actually is a way where you can talk out a lot of things in a lot of ways.
Yeah.
Expressing that in art is another form of use
Yeah.
of expressing your thoughts.
Yeah. So I mean I'm a coffee person. I hope you are also a coffee person.
Should be.
But I feel you're somewhere offending the people who are tea lovers as well. So have you thought about that as well?
Yeah, I have thought about tea. I have thought about a lot of mediums. Nowadays I'm working on red dye, we call alta in Bengali.
Okay.
Yeah, so I tried a lot of mediums, but coffee is like a stain, tea is like a wash.
Yeah.
So any kind of wash paintings, whenever people ask me to do a bit of wash paintings and I go ahead with the organic medium, tea is one of my choices, though it has not been my permanent choice
Yeah.
because you don't get that stain effect with tea, but they have all been tried and tested. But tea lovers, don't get offended. I love tea as well, so maybe not in the paintings.
So it's a very unique concept like anyway. I mean if you're making a painting with coffee, like it's bound to like deteriorate over time, right?
Right.
So do you take any measures to like preserve it like in any sense so that it doesn't like the consistency of that painting is maintained?
Yes, actually, the USP of my coffee art is its longevity. Coffee is an organic medium. Any organic thing actually gets actually destroyed over time.
Yeah.
Even paper gets destroyed over time. So what we need to do is preserve things that we make.
Yeah.
So I try to do my best to preserve or to take efforts to preserve this coffee arts as much as possible. So this coffee concoction that we use for painting is my own concoction. I mix a lot of things at my home. I become a little bit of doctor or an experimental scientist in doing that. And I make a mixture of myself of my own. And the paper is also treated. Each paper treatment takes around 4 to 5 days. Each coffee concoction preparation takes around 3 to 4 days. And the entire process of art takes around 10 to 11 days. So it's around 20 days of effort that we're looking at currently.
Wow, I was going to ask you like how much effort does it take, because I mean the only kind of drawing I've ever made in my life is like those two mountains and a sun coming out of that. So I mean I was blown away when I saw this. So like have you encountered like people like who are actually interested in it and want to learn it from you, like how you make it personally?
Yes, I do try to have a bit of workshops on coffee art. I have got interested people who come to me. It's not only coffee art that I stay at. A lot of things are being taught with coffee art as well. So I try to teach. I try to take workshops or host workshops on organic mediums. I like to host workshops on acrylics. I love doing acrylics, so I don't do it for the most of the times. And I also do workshops on clay modeling and body art. So these kind of things are something that I love as well. Coffee is something where I use, coffee workshops are more like a therapy. People come to me for doing a coffee art, and they feel an exceptional peace of mind while doing that. And that's how I am trying to spread the caffeine in art worldwide.
So any pro tip that you want to give people who want to actually make this kind of a painting?
Yes. Any kind of water-based painting, the pro tip or the tip number 101 is patience. Patience always helps. Don't get impatient with water-based colors, because water-based colors fight back, and when they fight back, you have nowhere to run. See, this is how the layering works. First you do a light one, then you go a bit darker one, then you go to a bit darker one, then go to the darkest one. So there is a very fast one that I do. It will not be as effective as the ones that we do with a lot of waiting time, because like someone great said, everything good happens in time. Here we don't have the time to give time. But I hope I am able to explain how the lines work.
I read this part where you said that you're also like having a kind of a character of yourself which you have named Durga.
Yeah.
So could you please tell me a bit more about that?
Yeah, I'll tell a bit about Durga, then I'll have to tell a short story if that's okay.
Yeah, definitely.
Okay.
And
So-
by the way, it's not Durga, it's Durga, right? Yeah.
So what I do is I actually go from cafe to cafe. I visit places and I announce that okay, I'm here at this place on this date from this time to that time.
Yeah.
And if you have anything inside you that needs to come out and you want someone to hear you unjudged,
Yeah.
I'm your guy. What I do is I sit down, I wait for people in cafe. People come to me, they sit down in front of me, and if they have anything stored in themselves, they vent out. That can be anything happy, it can be anything sad, it can be anything. You have stood first in your examination, you are afraid to tell your papa, come talk to me, no problem.
Yeah.
You have a love, you can't tell her that I love her, come talk to me.
So kind of a therapist role you
Yeah,
also
I
play.
actually am a certified psychological first aid provider. So
Wow.
I use that for helping people vent out. While people
Yeah.
vent out, I do a live coffee art in front of them
Wow.
of the story that they say. So what I think is while doing that these coffee paintings or these stories are not the only stories of only these people. These
Yeah.
stories may be spread out over a lot of people, and a lot of other people may be thinking about the same thing, and they are unable to reach out to me or any other person to vent out.
Definitely.
So I have this character, this cute little sweet character. Her name is Durga, or Nam Durga. And what she does is she has a unique way of explaining things and a unique way of stating solutions for problems to a lot of people. So
Yeah.
I use that character to tell a similar story and to tell a similar solution that I might find important or I might find it might be helpful for a lot of people out there, and that closes the loop. Actually, a lot of people can actually relate to those stories. I have seen people coming to me, sending me personal messages or sharing on the stories that why couldn't I find this character earlier. So
Definitely.
that's how the story completes. So that's my character. It's Durga. You can, if you are following creams or if you are following cafe, if you are following Hula Bila Cafe, if you are following Tribe as well,
Yeah.
then you might find Durga in other stories as well. So it would be relatable.
Like, out of all the paintings you have made, how many paintings you have made so far with coffee?
I don't know.
You've lost count. But out of all the paintings you have made, I just want to know which one is the most special to you, which stands out the most. Like, if you could just tell me about that.
The paintings that stand out the most are of the people whom I drew, who are not celebrities,
Yeah.
and I've seen them pulled inside, contracted inside, deep inside. They have stuck themselves into a room, thinking that nobody actually cares about them, nobody is there for them. And what I did is I also drew their portraits, and I told them, that was a surprise for them, and I told them that I hear your story, and even if you are not celebrity, there is one person in Kolkata, at least one person in Kolkata who thinks you are their lovely models. So I have done that. That is, I have done for around 8 to 9 of those people, and I have done an exhibition on them. Just displayed their paintings along with these paintings, because I wanted to tell them that they are no less.
Yeah.
And I've seen them coming to those exhibitions and smiling and crying their heart out.
That is probably the most priceless thing you can ever get out of these paintings.
I try to give, because
Yeah.
because paintings are part of the souls of the artist, right?
Definitely.
I try to give a
And
part.
like every person has a story of their own, and that needs to be celebrated as well.
Exactly.
Because I mean, we obviously have celebrities who have done great things, and they have that exposure. But there are people who, normal people who don't have that exposure, and you're doing a brilliant job in like getting that story out of people.
Thank you. Means my thought is, you can look up to people who are great, but that does not mean you will look down on people who are not great.
Definitely.
Everybody has their own reason to be their own hero.
Wow, that's great. I mean, I would also love if you could make my painting later on.
Absolutely, I'll do that.
Like, where do you see this heading? Like, do you want to like branch out into different other sectors, or like, what is the end goal of for Mr. Coffee?
No, the end goal as of now is, see, art is not a goal-based work. Art is a journey, right?
Yeah.
So I can only focus on the journey. Journey now is to reach out to all people of Kolkata, to just tell them that, means, the best way to state is, I want to use this as a medium of therapy for now. So I want to tell people that, okay, come to me, talk to me, take a coffee art and go. Okay. So that is the very base of my mission.
Yeah.
So what I tell, that's how I think the journey should continue for now.
Yeah.
Later, I am also thinking of doing larger works of coffee, because maybe this gun pointing is for me to make some larger art,
Yeah.
though it's at him. However,
Wow. I mean, this particular painting, I feel it's very like different, because like you
it's
have
dynamic. It's an out of focus painting.
Yeah, you have this person who is on focus, and you have this gun which is out of focus. Like, how do you do this? Like,
It's all layer based. You keep on doing, you keep on working on it as long as you don't get what you want. Means, I think that's true for everything.
yeah, that's true. I mean, you earlier mentioned like you also have done digital paintings as well, digital art. So, like, do you feel a sense of satisfaction more when you're doing a digital painting, or like when you're doing something that you can actually touch and feel when you're doing, probably suppose like this coffee paintings?
It's not about coffee paintings. Any traditional medium has a sense of touch,
Yeah.
because traditional mediums are not smooth mediums. Be it paper, be it watercolor, be it cloth, be it this desk, this table.
Yeah.
They are not smooth. So you have a sense of touch there. You have a sense of, the roughness of the paper, the roughness and the crease of paper, color and all those things. That actually acts like a soothing element while you do art. Means even if you are not into art, if you try doing that, you will find that this is a very different sense. And traditional mediums are unforgiving, and traditional mediums are also unreplicable. Until and unless you are a part of Farzi, it's unreplicable.
Any final thoughts you want to leave people behind with? Any inspiration? Any message?
Do something you have not done for a long time. Hear yourself. You have not heard yourself for a long time.
Yeah.
We all have not.
Wow. So that's it for the video. I hope you really like the video, and I'll link his handles in the description box down below. And I want you to check out his page and give him the love that he actually deserves. And I would want to leave you with this message. I'll see you in the next video. Bye bye.
Stay caffeinated.
Definitely.
There you go for the day.
So as you said, you're painting something really special, or someone really special. So who is this particular person?
That's my rendition of Durga.
is the one who gives the answer to a lot of questions, you know. In the city of joy, there lives a man who is much more than a coffee lover. Rather, a person who took his coffee too seriously. Meet the Kolkata Coffee Man. He is not just an ordinary artist, but a messenger of stories, a healer of souls, and a bearer of hope. Each stroke of his brush carries the weight of someone's hardships and their deepest emotions. Balancing the complexities of his day job with the simplicity of his brushstroke, he devotes himself to what he loves the most. In a world where stories often go untold, there will always be someone to listen, someone to paint, and someone to remind us that we are never alone. This is a story of Kolkata Coffee Man.